When truth is discovered by someone else, it loses something of its attractiveness. Talent is always conscious of its own abundance, and does not object to sharing. Religion always remains higher than everyday life. In order to make the elevation towards religion easier for people, religion must be able to alter its forms in relation to the consciousness of modern man. The clock of communism has stopped striking. But its concrete building has not yet come crashing down. For that reason, instead of freeing ourselves, we must try to save ourselves from being crushed by its rubble. Of course, God is endlessly multidimensional, so every religion that exists on earth represents some face, some side of God. The sole substitute for an experience which we have not ourselves lived through is art and literature. The next war may well bury Western civilization forever. Literature becomes the living memory of a nation. It is time in the West to defend not so much human rights as human obligations. I have spent all my life under a communist regime, and I will tell you that a society without any objective legal scale is a terrible one indeed. But a society with no other scale but the legal one is not quite worthy of man either. In our country the lie has become not just a moral category but a pillar of the state. Own only what you can always carry with you, no languages, no countries, no people. Let your memory be your travel bag. The battle line between good and evil runs through the heart of every man. Justice is conscience, not a personal conscience but the conscience of the whole of humanity. Those who clearly recognize the voice of their own conscience usually recognize also the voice of justice. It is the artist who realizes that there is a supreme force above him and works gladly away as a small apprentice under God's heaven. Violence can only be concealed by a lie, and the lie can only be maintained by violence. For us in Russia, communism is a dead dog, while, for many people in the West, it is still a living lion. A man is happy so long as he chooses to be happy and nothing can stop him. The name of reform simply covers what is latently a process of the theft of the national heritage. Not everything has a name. Some things lead us into a realm beyond words. A state of war only serves as an excuse for domestic tyranny. Everything you add to the truth subtracts from the truth. The salvation of mankind lies only in making everything the concern of all. Hastiness and superficiality are the psychic diseases of the 20th century, and more than anywhere else this disease is reflected in the press. Anyone who has proclaimed violence his method inexorably must choose lying as his principle. Literature transmits incontrovertible condensed experience, from generation to generation. In this way literature becomes the living memory of a nation. We have arrived at an intellectual chaos. How can you expect a man who's warm to understand one who's cold? It is not because the truth is too difficult to see that we make mistakes. We make mistakes because the easiest and most comfortable course for us is to seek insight where it accords with our emotions, especially selfish ones. You only have power over people so long as you don't take everything away from them. But when you've robbed a man of everything, he's no longer in your power, he's free again.